The brain takes care of the functioning of the body. Your mindset is responsible for generating the thoughts that motivated the brain to start its work. Therefore, your mindset controls your body. Your mindset controls your brain. And what differentiates a good athlete from a bad athlete is what he does with his body. And what controls what he does with his body is his mindset. That's why your mindset is so important. And this is something that should be obvious. But because of our culture of only training the physical side, it is not. First of all, congratulations. This that you're doing here is something that just a small fraction of athletes do. Looking for a way to improve your mentality and to develop what I call the winner mindset. If you're watching this video, I bet that you love your sport and you want to be here. At the point that you are playing high-level competitions, you are improving your confidence, you are achieving your goals, you are competing against your idols and doing everything that you dream of. Traveling the world, getting well paid, and when someone tells a story of success, of resilience, of commitment, you know that that can be your story because you have the potential for doing that. But at this moment, you are not here yet. The good news is you can get here even if you're here yet. If you think about it, every high-level athlete, every successful athlete was at some point at the same stage that you are right now. And believe me, some of them had less talent than you did. If you look for stories, you're gonna see how much failures there are in the path of successful athletes. Michael Jordan got cut of his high school basketball team. And this is just one of several examples that I could give you of successful stories that came from failures. However, what you need to do is to leave this stage. The stage where you play without confidence, you don't have enough motivation to do the things you should, you fear making mistakes, you worry too much about what people think about you, and that won't get you anywhere. When you play a competition, you know that you are not playing up to your potential and you know that you can play much better than that. You know you can do it, but you don't because your mentality is not allowing you to do that. With this, you're gonna continue to have several issues, just like your team not trusting you, your teammates thinking you're not good enough, you not performing the same way in practices and in games, and much more. If you continue here, it won't be possible for you to achieve the highest level competitions. In this first video of the Winner Mindset Challenge, I want to show you some things that you can implement your game and start performing much better. The first point is bulletproof your mind against criticism. How many athletes had the same opportunities as you're having right now in the past? If you think about it, 10 or even 5 years ago, this will never be possible. Learning the techniques to make you a mentally stronger athlete. In the past, you had two options. Either your family had to raise you in a certain way, like Tiger Woods' father did with him.
We have the 9 o'clock starting group, the youngest contestant ever. He's 5 years old, Eldrick Tiger Woods.
He was improving his confidence all the time in a certain way for being confident. And the second chance was for you to be extremely talented and learn this by yourself throughout your career. The chances for this to happen are extremely low and you had to be really lucky for that to happen. Your coaches, your family and those around you, they probably didn't learn how to make you a more confident athlete. And the result of that was that you didn't develop the characteristics that you needed to feel more confident about yourself, to develop the habits that you wanted, to feel more motivated to do the things you should be doing. This is not your fault, but it's not their fault either. They didn't learn how to do that and they couldn't teach you how to do that. But today, the reality is much different and you are having the opportunity to develop the characteristics of the highest level athletes on the road to be much better than your competitors. Right now, use this opportunity because in all those years searching and studying the mind of the best athletes in the world, I found out that anyone is capable of developing it. You just need to want it with all your heart and never give up. Have patience to apply these drills and you see the deep transformation happening. With all of this being said, let's get into the work. Let's start the class. Grab paper and pencil, take notes and apply the exercises As if this video is not available anymore, you still can learn from this. So commit to the process and learn as much as you can. The power of the mind is undervalued in sports, but among the highest level athletes in the world, it's something almost obvious. Djokovic said that if we train our minds as much as we train our physical bodies, we would be much closer to our potential. Michael Phelps said, "I believe that everything is possible if you put your mind and work for it." Cristiano Ronaldo answered, "My mind," when he was asked about his biggest quality. LeBron James said that the mental side of the game is way over 50%. He believes it's around 80%. The more you aim to please people, fit into their standards, and seek for approval, the more importance you give to criticism. The reason why it becomes so difficult for us to deal with this kind of problem is because our emotions are rewired for looking for that. Our brain was made to look for social connections and social approval, as that was key for survival in the early years. Without the right techniques, it becomes impossible to deal with that. What you must do is to learn the techniques and apply them. It doesn't mean it's gonna be easy, but it means that it's possible to not care so much about what people think and say about you. The key for dealing with this is to reframe the situations, rationalize them when it happens, accept that those things are outside your control, and refocus on the activity that you are doing. Each step is very important. And as I said, it's not going to be easy, but the more you apply these, the more natural it becomes your response. The first time you try to implement those techniques, it will be harder. However, if you follow them, it's gonna get easier and easier for you to deal with this kind of situation each time you apply these techniques. This is of extreme importance for you and will help you to develop the winner mindset. All athletes want to feel more motivated. This would help them to achieve their goals, to make more progress, to end laziness, and much more. But when athletes look for ways to motivate themselves, they're not always looking for the right things. What really makes you more motivated? Motivation can be broken into 3 steps: drive, grit, and goals. Grit is what most people think about when they hear the term motivation. It's the tough part, it's the resilience. It's about committing yourself and working towards your goals. This is grinding, but this is not the core of motivation. And that's why I focus so much on improving the other sides and not caring so much, not committing 100% of your motivation to this step. The core of motivation is drive, and drive is divided into 3 steps: curiosity, passion, and purpose. And if you want to increase your motivation, it's important to focus on those, because these are the ones that get you fired up and start the motivation process. The key is to attach more curiosity into your goals and more passion with the process. If you are able to do this, you're gonna make hard work to seem easy work. Think about what makes you curious on your sport: the technical side, the physical, the mental, the nutrition, whatever makes you more curious. Get involved with that instead of demanding yourself to push harder and harder every day. The winner mindset focuses on developing the skills that actually work, and not on the grind mindset that makes you overwhelmed and eventually makes you to burn out. Try this out and you're gonna see how much more creative, enjoyable, and exciting it is to work on your goals when you apply these techniques. Only when your attention is on the present moment, you are able to enter in the zone of flow and reach peak performance. But only a small fraction of athletes are able to ignore the trash talk, what might happen in the future and what happened in the past, and focus on what they're doing. The skill of having the attention in the present moment was key for Michael Jordan's success. There are 2 main things you can do to improve your skill of having your attention in the present moment: using process goals and practicing mindfulness consistently. You will learn more about process goals in the next video of the challenge, and if you want to know more about mindfulness, there's another video on my channel about this and I'll link it here. Basically, process goals are cues that help you to refocus on what you need to do during the game. You can set them before your competition and tell them to yourself so you can refocus on the game and follow your tasks. There's a saying from Bill King worth citing here: yesterday is the past, tomorrow is the future, but today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. And that's how the winner mindset approaches to every practice and competition. Creating a game plan can help you in many more ways than you can imagine. Every successful athlete has a very strong skill, but besides that, they also know the perfect timing and scenario to execute it. Without a game plan, it's easy to get lost in practice, to feel insecure while you're competing, and practice useless skills. there are 3 main steps for you to follow when creating and sustaining your smart game plan. Study athletes of your position and find 2 to 3 that are more similar to you. Analyze what are the things they do that would work for you and that you use the most. Implement a smart skills development strategy including visualization, goal setting, and practicing. When using this strategy, you are going to learn more skills to improve your confidence on yourself and on your goals, improve your decision making, study the game, get more motivated as it increases your curiosity level, improve your grit as you move closer to your goals, and much more. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you can use to improve your mental game. In fact, it can improve your performance in over 40% when you apply it to your training. That's the result they got in an experiment where they tested different mental training drills. Most of the athletes do not use the visualization drill correctly, and this makes them unable to get the benefits they could out of this. But if you use the steps that I'm about to show you in this video, you can create a huge advantage over your competitors and make yourself a much mentally stronger athlete. The first thing you need to do is to have the list of all of the skills and movements that you want to implement in your game that you created on the last step of developing a smart game plan. After this, you should know clearly how and when these things should happen. Then you should close your eyes, feel your body, feel the emotions related to the activity, and visualize yourself calm and confident. Connect with the environment and add as much details as possible, such as the sounds, the temperature, and so on. Then, start creating the scenarios you have on the script on your mind and make them as challenging as they are in competition, and stick to it to 6 to 10 situations or skills only. For more details on this, check the PDF available in the first link of the description of the video. I also created a guided visualization that aims to improve all of these, but I wouldn't have enough time on this video to teach you that. Playing under pressure is a challenge that you're gonna encounter, and if you cannot manage your emotions, you start getting nervous, anxious, fearing mistakes, and you end up not showing your potential in the game when it matters the most. One of the biggest fallacies in sports is that the highest level athletes, they do not have emotions, they do not feel pressure, and this is false. Check these words from Neymar when he got to Barcelona. Unfortunately, you won't have Messi telling you those things to improve your confidence. However, what he did was basically to change Neymar's perspective and make him to focus on something else. You can do that by yourself with a better emotional control, which is consisted of 3 steps only: becoming conscious of your emotions, understanding why they happen, and third, working on creating different perspectives around them. For example, if you become conscious that you fear making mistakes, and that happens because you are worried about what your coach will think about it and that you might lose a spot on the team, you can work on creating different perspectives around making mistakes. You can make yourself to believe that that is part of the process and you must make mistakes to continue to improve yourself and become a better athlete. This reinforcement takes time. Emotional learning requires effort and commitment. Because of this, you must commit to the process and reinforce this every time it happens until it becomes a natural response for yourself. The most important thing is to commit to the process. Developing a winner mindset takes effort and time. As I said, I prepared an exclusive PDF related to the videos, explaining the exercises, giving you a workbook, and showing you more details on how this is going to improve you. So if you want to check that out, click the first link in the description of the video and join our Telegram group if you're not there already. And also, if you're really serious about improving your mentality, subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on so you get notified when I post the next videos. Now this is the last thing, pay attention to this. There's a post on my Instagram talking about commitment, and this challenge is a cause. It's a cause for you to improve your confidence, for you to overcome your mistakes, to overcome your doubts, to improve your performance on game and practice, for you to feel less anxious, more motivated, things that will make you a high-level athlete. And when we take any action for a cause, we send a message to our brains saying that we're really committed to it. So what I want you to do and what I ask you to do is to go to my Instagram and comment on my last post, Winner Mindset. If you do this, you are much more likely to continue this commitment and to improve what I'm teaching you in here. This will send you a message to your brain saying you are serious about your sports. Let's work on this cause and make a move. The next videos of the challenge will be about goal setting, flow, and the characteristics of successful athletes. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I see you next class.